My chair's so squeaky. I hate it.
When I used to stream, I had this like comfortable bowl chair basically, and anytime I moved, it was so loud.
Oh, I mean, I'm sure you can hear it.
Hey, Dante Pie, dude, Dante Pie is my favorite, personal favorite.
I mean, you know,
Whoa, what? We're live. Hey, we're live. Can we keep it? Can we keep it
kind of,
civil in here?
I don't know. People are like, what are these guys laughing at? A bunch of weirdos just laughing at
We're just talking.
Oh my goodness.
Up in here.
the heck? Where's everybody?
The COD boys are already practicing, right? They're warming up.
They're warming up right now. Yep.
Bunch
They
of
are
losers.
excited for tonight.
I saw them on Discord.
We're going through making sure everyone's got their stream settings right. Very specific stream settings. Since Call of Duty can't build an anti-cheat, everyone has to stream with very specific settings so that way they make sure no one's cheating.
Hello, Kayla. Hello, All Pro.
What's up?
What's up, guys? How's it going?
How's it going?
Just giving everyone a few minutes before we get started here interrogating LethalTriscuit. I mean, interviewing
Tell us your
It's
secrets.
not for an interrogation. Shoot. I told this was gonna be a happy place.
When we get to the Q&A section, I dare you to write yourself a question and answer it in chat.
Also, Colin, I was so excited to have like this. This is our first question. This is our first question on the Q&A, but I didn't want to say that because I didn't want people to do anything. So when you said the thing about the tire, I was just broke me. I was so sad.
Everyone waved to Swift Fox.
Hi, Swift Fox. We were actually watching your stream because Ignite was hosting you, and the two piece you had when you dropped was nice.
It was dirty.
Nice.
For sure.
All right. Well, it looks like we already got some people in here. If you guys want to go ahead and get started. So let's go ahead and start out with the basics, talking about your stream, Lethal. Go ahead and give yourself a shout out. Where can they find you on Twitch, Instagram, wherever before we get started?
Yeah, so you guys can find me anywhere on with just LethalTriscuit. Perks of having a super distinct name. Nobody wants it. I guess nobody wants to be called a cracker. I don't know, but yeah. So TikTok, Instagram, YouTube. Got some videos coming out soon. Twitch, Twitter. That's it. And got my Discord, the Snack Shack. If you want to join it, it should be public.
That is an awesome name. Love it. So next up, some more basic questions. You're a Twitch streamer. What tools do you mainly use in your everyday stream?
Yeah, so I recently got a capture card. I got the Razer Ripsaw, which highly recommend as a budget capture card if you don't want to spring for an Elgato. But I mean, I got that a year and a half into streaming, so you can definitely go without it. It's very possible. So I use that.
When Ignite first came by your stream, I think you still didn't have a camera, right? You were streaming right off your console. What console did you play on?
Off my Xbox. Yep. Which I did that for a whole year and a half. No mic, no nothing. So.
Wow.
Yeah. But no, like I had my headset mic, but no like actual nice mic. You could hear my air conditioning, my dishwasher. You could hear everything.
What mic do you have now?
I got the Blue Snowball, which I also got.
Nice.
So all my gear except for my new cam, I got used. I kind of had the mindset of like, I'm not going to put more money into the stream than I've gotten out of it. And so, yeah, I got both the mic and my capture card off an app called Mercari. # not an ad.
That's awesome. Yeah. So what software do you use? Because there's definitely a huge debate in the streaming world. Streamlabs, normal OBS, OBS Studio. What plugins do you like? What are you kind of using on the software side for everything?
Yeah, I use OBS for the stream. Kind of through doing the research, I also use Stream Elements and Nightbot for both my bots. So I heard they were really easy to integrate with OBS. But I also know some people who had issues with Streamlabs OBS killing their frames. And I stream off a laptop, like a Lenovo Yoga laptop. And so I was trying to minimize the amount of CPU usage as possible. Just because it's not built for this, obviously. So yeah, I use OBS. Now I'm blanking on the mic plugins I use. They're really popular. Gotcha. I can go find them here. But that, and then just the default camera filters for the Razer Kio, which I just got last week. because that camera is nice.
So going over your setup real quick, you got the camera is your Razer Kio, which is a webcam you just picked up. Your mic's the Blue Snowball. What are you using for lighting? Because it seems like you got some pretty good lighting in your new setup.
Yeah, so if you ever spend any time in my stream, you know that I love all things techie, gadgety. So like my whole house is smart wired. It's got Google Home everywhere. And so I've got Philips Hue stuff. So lights in my background are Philips Hue. The lights, there's some colored lighting coming from the front. That's from a Philips Hue light strip on the back of my TV. That's like behind all my setup. And then the Razer Kio comes with a nice ring light.
Nice.
Nothing like special, but you can see it in my glasses. But it's a very adjustable for different levels of brightness. So yeah.
Do you have a Stream Deck or anything like that? Or like what's your next pickup if you were to choose?
Next pickup. I mean, Stream Deck would be the next piece of gear, but I also wouldn't mind getting like an Xbox Elite controller. I'm messing around with this app called Touch Portal right now. So it's a free app that you download the software on your laptop, and then it links to a phone or a tablet. And so it's basically the Elgato Stream Deck, but it's free. You don't have to pay a monthly subscription.
Ooh, that's awesome.
So
Really nice.
you can buy like a premium version if you want it, but it's I mean, the free version seems pretty cool. You can customize colors and sizes of buttons and stuff.
And what was that thing you were mentioning to us before we went live here that messes with your lights based on stream effects?
So that's called Lumia Stream. It's another software you download on your desktop, and you link it to like Philips Hue. They have integrations with, I think, LifeX, a few other smart bulbs, NanoLeaf, all that stuff. And you can link it with Twitch and OBS, so different activities will trigger. So like if somebody subs or new follower bits, it'll flash like subs. It flashes all the lights in the background blue. Bits are like blue and red. It alternates. So there's a free version and paid versions of that.
That's really awesome.
Yeah.
So you just moved. You moved. Were you in an apartment before? Or you moved into a new house?
Yeah. I was an armchair gamer out of the apartment living room.
we all remember the days of you sitting on your couch having to whisper to the mic, make sure you don't wake up anybody.
Yeah. I mean, I was like 20 feet. I get those dagger eyes. I get too hype about a kill or something.
So now you said you got your own corner in the basement. Is it like an office, or what's your setup kind of looking like? You got a desk? Did you make the desk? Where'd you get it? All that?
No, I didn't make it. I wish I could have, but no, I got it off Amazon. It's a nice little L desk. So we got like the living room behind everything, but this is my office. So you want a room tour? It's messy. I'll do that next time.
Sounds
still
cool. We'll have to make a YouTube video for that one.
Yeah, for sure. We'll do it. Do like a gear tutorial stuff. I'm down.
So the reason I asked if you made the desk, you made that awesome table. I think it was your dining room table. What made you get into that? Are you thinking about building anything else for your house? Are we going to see any streams of you building stuff? I know that was talked about in the Discord at all. Is there any plans for that?
Yeah. So the table I built was actually for my in-laws because they didn't have a table big enough. There are like 14 of us between in-laws and their families. So we always had to like sit at folding tables for holidays. So that's what got me into like building. I built a headboard for our bedroom, but on the schedule at some point is building a little Ignite logo to go right here on the wall. So we're gonna figure something out for that.
Circling back to your stream, I'm curious. You went from you did the full circle. You went from no gear at all, streaming right off the Xbox, probably at like 15 frames, barely making it happen. Now you got a real capture card, real computer, real mics, real cameras. Was there anything that you felt needed to be there for you to get the audience you have today? Because there's always these arguments, so you don't need that good of gear, you don't need any gear at all. Was there anything that you felt was absolutely necessary or that you saw a big bump after getting?
Yeah, I think the cam is the biggest one. And the beauty of at least Xbox, I can't speak to PlayStation, but Xbox, you can actually add a camera without having a capture card. If it's a USB cam, you can plug it right into the side. And then in the Twitch app on Xbox, you can pick where you want it. It has like, you can do corners or sides. So it's pretty nice.
So Xbox actually has a lot of support, it sounds like, for Twitch streaming without having to get do you notice any like frame drops in game or anything, or how taxing is it on the actual console itself?
So I haven't done it. That'd be something actually not a bad idea to test out for people, but do it with just a cam off of the Xbox. Because I got the camera after switching to capture card. Um, so no, I don't do anything with 3D printing Wolfpack. I would love to. Those are expensive though,
One
crazy
day.
expensive. But yeah, so I mean, I think the cam is the biggest because it lets you interact. I kind of had to make up for not having a cam with being super interactive with chat and just being like asking a ton of questions instead of just like answering a question and being done. Like always trying to finish answering and then ask them a question back to like make it more interactive.
That was one thing that I noticed right away. The first stream that I ever hopped into of yours, which was back before you have a cam, I believe. It was like right before you ended up getting a cam. I remember hopping into your stream, and whenever I hop into a stream and someone doesn't have a camera, I don't normally expect too much. But I asked you a question, and I was one of your only viewers at the times, and you were there. You were talking to me like I was sitting right next to you, and I thought that that was really cool. And I think once you got the camera and you started doing that, I think that really accelerated your growth because it just made things more interesting to watch. Whenever people see other people, they are able to attach themselves to that personality a lot easier, and I think that helps boost a lot of people's numbers.
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, there's a lot you can do, at least in OBS, for like fixing the mic on your laptop to work all right, or even just your headset mic sounds really, honestly, probably better than just a laptop mic if you're streaming straight off a console. Um, but I don't know. I feel like the camera is something that, like you said, it kind of adds a whole new level of interaction. People can see reactions, and you can like look them straight in the eye while you're talking to them.
Yeah. So you've been actually streaming a long time because you streamed for quite a while before you bought any gear at all. Um, so why did you start streaming? And what point did you start taking it seriously? Is like I want to grow this, I want to dump a ton of time because everyone knows that's doing it. It takes a lot of time to be a streamer. You got to actually stream, edit content, post on everything. Uh, so what made you get into it?
Yeah. So I got into Twitch during grad school. So like fall of 2017 to spring of 2018, as something to like not make me fall asleep while I was reading accounting textbooks. Um, and so I was hanging out in a guy named Tanner Slays. He plays Apex. He's a pretty big name in the Apex scene. Um, and met a lot of awesome people there. Started playing games with some of them. A lot of them who like were smaller streamers themselves at the time. Um, and a couple of the guys were like, "Dude, you should start streaming and just like give it a shot, see what happens." And so like June, July of 2018, started streaming and was like one or two people, and hit affiliate just because a lot of those people would host me or send people my way. It was a really cool community of people. Um, and so then I started working. For those of you who don't know, I'm an accountant and I work 55 to 60 hours a week, January through April. So this time last year, I was not streaming at all and like lost basically that whole follow base. All my friends who streamed started like they are now averaging like 16, 17 people, which is awesome for them. Um, and so I kind of had like rebuild my community, which is where I'm very thankful for Ignite because that has helped a ton. But coming back, I was like, I think like these people who I started at the same time, like they made it pretty big and they put time in. So I was like, we'll give it a shot, see what can happen.
That's awesome.
One of the things that's so hard about streaming is building a following is one thing, but streaming consistently enough and staying active for long enough to keep a community like that is what a lot of people don't realize is one of the most important parts of Twitch. Because I know some people who could average a handful of viewers, but because they weren't streaming consistently enough, or they would stop for, like you said, for months at a time, it's very easy to lose a following just because there are so many people streaming at any given moment that it's hard for those allegiances to stay around. Yeah.
And we've
Yeah.
struggled with that ourselves even. Staying consistent with content is one of the biggest challenges. And yeah, like you said, there's so much competition out there. If you're not staying consistent, then people aren't going to continue to come by. So it is really important. Also, Twitch Now with so much competition, it's very hard to get discovered. So like you said, you're starting to reduce some stream days and dedicate those to content days. What kind of content are you specifically looking to make, or kind of what's different between the platforms for you?
Yeah. Part of what I want to do is split content between gameplay slash tutorials and then also like streamer tip and guides. So uh, I'm building out a schedule and like a calendar now to get some YouTube content out because I'm really slacking and it's been a year and a half since I started streaming and I still haven't posted a YouTube video. So first up, we've got some gameplay, COD video that I actually just finally got some content for. And then we're going to do a tutorial for an app called Figma that we were talking about earlier. Just a really basic tutorial on how to get started with that. So you can get some, if you want to do branding or create some overlays for videos, kind of teaching some people who, like I've always been interested in graphic design, but some people who aren't quite interested in that but know they need stuff, give them kind of a starting point. So kind of a mix of both.
This makes a nice segue for you've been actually the most active person of the Ignite community. And you recently gave us all a brand guidelines template. I know before you had this, we actually got from a designer our brand guidelines, and you kind of were asking me questions about that, and I sent that over, and that inspired you to make this. And through your struggles making your own, you were like, this should be something that everybody should have access to, an easier starting point. Going through that, how long did it take you to make it? How hard is it for people to learn these skills? Because I mean, all of us here know enough just to be dangerous right now. I just want you to try and quantify how challenging this really is to make something that looks good, but the value it brings if you build something custom versus over just finding something on the internet.
Yeah, for sure. So honestly, the hardest part for me was the YouTube banner because they tell you one dimension on YouTube, but that's not the best dimension to build the stinking banner. So figuring out like what dimensions work best for different overlays, doing a ton of research on Google. The actual designing it isn't that hard for me. I've always been artistic, and so like that side isn't hard. But the goal with that branding template is to give people frames where they have the same, it's got the dimensions. All you have to do is go in and like it's got gradients built into it. You just have to change the colors to match your hex codes for all your other branding, or if you don't have any, you can pick some. And just to give people kind of that template where it's a consistent front across all social medias, all streaming. You got the same colors, the same type of style. So make it a little bit easier, kind of break that the breakthrough barrier down so that it's easier.
And the reason why having branding guidelines versus just a logo is so important is because your brand really is more than just a logo. It may start as a logo and it branches out from that, but then in social media, if you're going to have typeface or you're going to have typeface on your stream, you need to make sure your fonts go with your logo as well, and kind of everything like that, and it needs to be consistent on every platform. And it's really important that your presence is consistent on every platform, because I should be able to pick up a post from Lethal on Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, wherever, and I should instantly know that it's his because I recognize his brand. That's the goal of having 100% consistent branding everywhere. You shouldn't have to guess who's behind whatever the content is.
Yeah, exactly. And that's part of honestly, the thing that took me the longest was I took that template that y'all have, actually, the geometric pattern, and kind of tweaked it to meet my colors and a design that I wanted. And it took me forever to get that thing laid out. But I'm also super OCD and picky, as evidenced by the 50 Velcro ties I just bought for cable management. But yeah, it's really important to be consistent in, the TikTok videos you're posting. Is it laid out the same? If you look at my Instagram, I've got like the same border on all my videos. So it's like a kind of a blurry top and bottom, so that it looks consistent. Like you were saying, if it shows up, you can see, without even looking at the name, hopefully you can tell it's mine.
going back to the community, you've been amazing at staying consistent during your streams, even throughout your move and everything. Obviously, everyone has real life stuff every once in a while, but you've also been really consistent in the Ignite community, actually sending more messages than even anyone on the Ignite team, having #1 in the whole Discord. What does that look like? How are you making sure that you're the #1 most active member? Do you have your phone yell at you every time there's a message sent? Are you just super like what is your mindset? Why are you always super active?
Yeah, so I do have notifications on for most of the channels to get messages, at least for the ones that I can contribute. But I definitely don't have like the time. So being married and like full-time job, this is very much a sort of a hobby, and so I can't really contribute like the time to be in people's channels. Definitely don't have like tons of money. As much as I'd love to sub and gift subs to everybody, like I just can't contribute that. And so part of the reason I'm so active there is just to kind of not really like make up for it, but kind of be a different sort of contributor, if you will.
Definitely. And I know that our whole team extremely appreciates it. You're a part of what makes our community feel so lively and active all the time. Discord with 200 people that don't say anything isn't really meaningful to anyone. So people who are active really make our community special, and people that stop by each other's streams and lift each other up. That's really what's making Ignite special right now and stand out apart from just every other support Discord out there.
Yeah, it definitely is unique. There are a ton of Discords that are just support for support. And that was one of the things that struck me about Ignite when I first joined was people like literally, I think within 2 days of me joining the Discord, you were in my stream. And I'd been in other Discords before that literally one person out of 300 had ever come by, and it wasn't even the founder. Like it was just some random person who turned out he actually wanted me to go follow him on Twitch. So
yeah, don't you love those messages of, hey man, hope you're doing well, I'll follow you if you follow me back, or all of the spam bots that say, want to get famous, come buy followers from this website.
Oh, I got that banned. That doesn't work anymore. You can ban keywords in chat.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Teach us all how to set that up, because I feel like most of the small streamers who don't have mods yet, those are the people that are getting hit with that message, and it is every stream that I'm into. So you're gonna have to do a little video on that. That might be a solid TikTok to have.
No doubt.
Circling back to your stream.
By the way, and like you were saying, cocaine for gamers. It's true. I don't recommend sniffing it. I feel like that would not go well, but it's good stuff nonetheless.
Circling back to your stream, what are games you're playing right now? What games do you play off stream, if any, or what do you prefer to stream? And also, what games got you into streaming?
Yeah, so Apex was the big one. I streamed that exclusively I played it exclusively, for the first year and a half. My buddy and I, if you've watched it all, you know the Red HP, my boy Harrison. We were in grad school when that came out. We're just wrapping up, and we pretty much played that from like hour one for a year and a half. And so I love that game. Got burnt out, got onto Modern Warfare a little bit, play some Rogue Company, a little bit of Rocket League. So that's pretty much, I don't do a whole lot of gaming off stream as much anymore just because I don't really have time for it. But Apex and COD are definitely my top two.
Do you play any single player games, or are you more competitive, prefer to play multiplayer?
I get super, super bored with first player games. Assassin's Creed is pretty much the only one. I can't do the open world.
I'm very similar. I get too bored when it's single player. I'm too competitive after all of these years of Rainbow Six and games like that. If I'm not yelling at my screen, wanting to throw my mouse through my monitor, then it's not the game for me.
Yeah, no, Assassin's Creed was like the only open world type game. And I played that in college. My buddies and I, my roommates, there were 6 of us in a 4-bedroom apartment. It was a little cramped. Whoa. But yeah, it was fun. We just leave Assassin's Creed on, and like whoever had 5 minutes would sit down and play it, pause the game, come back. That's probably why my PS3 burnt out, but whatever.
All right. Well, I think that was mainly all of our topics. Is there anything that you specifically would like to talk about while you're on our fireside chat, or should we go ahead and move into a QA? Or Jacob, do you have anything you want to add?
No. I'm good.
Yeah, I'm down for Q&A.
I want to see what people are asking.
Yeah, I'll scroll back up here a little bit.
While we're waiting on comments to roll in, Apex to me is a really good game to play when you're streaming because unlike PUBG that was a little bit of a longer battle royale, Apex is just so exciting that you don't have as much downtime. It's fun to watch because of how just constant it is. And when you get good at Apex, and especially if you're playing in a trio with people that are good, I feel
Mhm.
like Apex is a game that's just perfect for streaming.
Yeah. No, it really is. And I mean, the way that the rest system works too gives you a lot of time to be able to talk where, with PUBG, you were just dead.
Yeah.
Like, if you died early, you might as well just back out and start over. And so that was something that I love about Apex, where it's really easy, and there are enough down moments that you can read chat. It's not constant. Like you don't have to worry about people hiding in bushes like COD. You can kind of relax just a little bit. So
It looks like Ben's got a question. What is your highest kill game in Apex, and what is your highest kill game in Call of Duty? Probably Warzone.
yeah, so I can tell you Apex. COD is going to be tricky. My highest game in Apex, I got 17 kills in a 16-person lobby. My team combined for like 35 kills. I had some guys just pop off. Um, I still am not really sure how it happened. I had like 2,400 damage, which is not the math that should happen with 17 kills. So I definitely stole some kills from my buddies, but I'll take it. COD, I don't know. I want to say like 10 or 12. I generally play more of a passive role on Warzone. I love sniping. And so I'm definitely not like a top fragger, more like support comms player. Which I'm that way in Apex too. But
One thing I noticed about your streams, often you have the randoms you play with their mics off. Are you just worried about them saying something that'd be too inappropriate on stream, or what's the idea there?
yeah, so Call of Duty, I actually am not entirely sure how to get their stuff to come through.
Gotcha.
It's something with the way that I have the audio set up coming through. I've tried running like voice meter to control the different audio, and I think it tanked my frames because I dropped like 98% of my frames for the first 10 minutes.
Wow.
So I'm gonna have to try that again and see if it was just like an internet thing or if it was actually my computer.
I know Cold War actually was having a lot of issues specifically with their audio setup. I couldn't change like my listening device or mic device for pretty much like the first 2 months. Cold War was out.
Mhm.
So there's always been audio issues around different games, but I always thought you did it on purpose just because you were worried some kid was gonna say something and get you banned. But
I
either
am
way,
worried, truly. There are some sketchy things that come through on those mics, which they make for great deathcom videos, but
yeah.
it's one of those things that, especially like I don't know, I generally try to stay away from that on my streams anyway. So
Did you ever play PUBG?
I did. That was actually one of like the first games that I played on my Xbox. I was one of the stupid people who paid for it pre-release. So yeah, it. I hate that game with a passion. I will never ever play it ever again.
I was
Um,
always hoping that some other battle royales would bring the location based microphones to them. Those were some of the best clips that ever came out of PUBG. Was just location based voice where you could be like, "Hey, bro, I'm in your building. You're
yeah,
not gonna play."
yeah. No, I think the breaking moment for me on that game, because I played it with some friends a lot. Like we had a 4-man squad that played pretty frequently before I switched over to Rainbow Six, and the thing that broke me was I had like a 10 kill game, which was a lot for me in PUBG, and we are down to 2 squads, and it was like me fighting a 2-man squad, and this guy was completely like had no idea I was 10 feet behind him in a building. I like do the peek thing around a window, and my reticle shows me around the window, and I just unload a full magazine into the window frame
Oh yeah.
because the peak mechanics were so broken, and that just broke me out. I died, and I was like, nah, I give up.
So I know part of what you were doing was your G Fuel review videos. Do we have a favorite flavor as of right now? If you were going to only recommend one to the stream, what would it be?
Oh, that's tricky. I don't know. So I've got like I kind of break G Fuel up for me in like different categories. So there's like fruity, and then there's like fun sugary flavors. So like my go-to is probably guava. It's so good, but it's not super strong. But I mean, then they've got like this one, the Nemesis tea is like an Arnold Palmer basically. So I don't know. I drink different flavors for different categories, like different times during the day, basically.
Do you
I
drink
got the guava right now though.
do you drink specific ones with specific games? Like, is there one you find yourself always doing for Apex? Or
No, I also can't drink it like after 7:30 or 8 because it keeps me up. But
Leek says sour phase berry or guava are the best. Have you tried the berry?
I haven't. I have regular Fazeberry back there. But yeah, the Fazeberry was good. I also kind of experiment with like different levels of scoops for different flavors. So like, I don't know. I'm kind of weird.
It's basically a pre-workout, right, for gamers.
Yeah, oh, it for sure is. Yeah, I got that focus. No, I'll have to try that. How did I feel when Notre Dame lost? I could not have cared less. Are you talking football, basketball? What sport are we even talking? We're talking football? I'm guessing we're talking football.
Probably football.
Probably football. Yeah. Guava is so good though, Leaks. I'm with you on that one. The one that was the most surprising was the spicy demonade. That thing kicks. That was the video I posted, and I was not expecting it to be that spicy.
I still haven't tried any G Fuel at all. I feel like I'm slacking as a big gamer person and now. So once you get sponsored,
when rank comes out in a Cold War, and I start trying to like sweat in some ranks, maybe I'll get some.
You haven't had any?
Oh, I haven't had any G Fuel.
Dude. Oh my goodness.
Just drinking water.
Yeah, Jacob's weird. He doesn't do caffeine.
I've got a big old thing of water that I drink.
Yeah.
Who's your squad gonna be for league play, Jacob? You got 4 picked out yet?
Hopefully you, since you're probably gonna carry me to whatever the good ranks are.
Lethal,
Ben and I will definitely play.
Do you have a squad for any kind of league play or ranked play right now? Like, who's your go-to squad?
Not in Call of Duty. I also am on really late at night, so I get on at like 10:30 after my wife goes to bed. So there are not a whole lot of people playing games at that point. But my buddy Harrison and I will be. We used to have a third man, but he doesn't play as much anymore. But he's usually my go-to for Apex because we're both up late. So I'm gonna be honest, I didn't know Cold War was coming out with ranked, so I'm kind of capping on that front.
I don't think we know exactly when yet, but we know we're getting it. We just don't know when.
It's supposed to get it eventually.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Nah, Wolfpack. I'm not an Irish fan. NC State, go Pack. That's Pete Swift.
We'll have her on at some point, and then she can talk trash back to you.
Yeah. Just make sure you ask her which ACC team has the most active QBs in the NFL right now, and we'll go from there.
That's a pretty good one. I didn't even know that.
Yeah, I think we have 6 right now.
What?
Really? Well, I guess Phil Rivers is retiring. We kind of claim him.
Leak said Ignite should try a Valorant team. I would love that because when Valorant came out, we played quite a lot of it.
The thing is, like that game in esports is much more similar to CS, and you have to have a team that's like legitimately stacked to be playing some amateur tournaments. But we'd have to look into it, have some tryouts for sure. I just haven't looked into that one enough. I know Rocket League will probably be next because the guy running our league said he wanted to do a Rocket League league.
Yeah.
And
we'll probably figure out all that.
Yeah, for real. That's going to be a challenging one.
Yeah. Oh, no. Yeah. Kaiser's the Irish fan for sure.
Yeah.
Oh, and Ben, favorite sports game. So I don't play a whole lot of sports games. Does Rocket League count as a sports game?
Sure. It's soccer with cars.
Yeah. I don't know. I loved MLB 2K5. I played that game on my PlayStation. I put hours into that game. I had careers and the franchises, and I played that game a lot.
Underrated phone sports game. If you're looking for something to play on your phone, it's called Retro Bowl, and it's like pixel art football.
I play that.
And
that's so much fun.
Highly recommend game to kill some time.
So on my last trip to see my grandma, it's like a 5-hour drive. I've pretty much played that for the whole time. I killed my phone twice.
Yeah, it's addicting. You start building this little team of these little players. It's fun. Highly
Yeah.
recommend.
Called? What did you say?
Retro.
Okay, I'll download it because I've
I,
been doing something.
I made the mistake of changing teams as a head coach though. Don't ever do that. It's the worst idea. It's so hard to rebuild a team once you're a coach.
Yeah.
I underestimated it.
All right, guys. Well, I think we're going to wrap up here. I think we're going to raid somebody from the Ignite Discord right now. I think I got someone picked out who's been in the Ignite Discord a long time. He's currently playing Valorant, and you've seen him pop in every once in a while. But let's go give him some support.
Thank you, LethalTriscuit, for joining us. That was
Yeah,
very
you bet.
This is something we want to do on the Fireside chat is bring in a whole bunch of different people because we have a Discord, a community that is full of a lot of people that do some incredible stuff. So this was just to get some streaming insight to be able to ask you about everything you're doing with your channel. So thank you for doing this for us, doing this with us.
For sure. And if y'all want, I mean, it's in the Discord, but do y'all want the branding template link for that Figma thing for people in the chat, or
Sure,
you want to send them to Discord?
What I can do as well is on YouTube and stuff, when I post this, I can send me the link and I can put it as part of that. So yeah, check the link. If you're watching this on YouTube, then check the link in the description below to find that on.
Yeah. Hopefully it helps. It was one of those things that like I had to do anyway, so I figured we'd make it. It's not that hard to make a duplicate. So
Open source it.
yeah, exactly.
Thank you so much. I guess we will start the raid and see you guys next time.
Sounds good. Thanks for having me on. It was a blast.
Definitely.
See y'all later. Make sure you watch the SCL team, 9:30.
Thank you. Look, you're calling out our people better than we are.
All right, see y'all. God, Jacob, fuck you. You did such a bad job.
Are we live? What did you say? Oh, because we just went live.